ทวิปัสสนานังภาวนานามิโตปารังกรรมฐานังภวคามิทุวิธัมปิยถากัปมัง
So, today we're going to talk about a really profound text in the Buddhist Abhidhamma, the Sankhara Yamaka. Now, you might have heard of it, and maybe you've also heard that it's, well, incredibly dense, maybe even a little intimidating. But what if I told you it's actually this brilliant, systematic blueprint for understanding your own mind?
I mean, we've all been there, right? You crack open some ancient philosophical work, and it just feels like you're trying to read a map written in a language you don't really speak. It can be just overwhelming. But the Sankhara Yamaka, it's different. It was actually designed to be a guide, not a maze. And that's really the key. We have to shift how we see it. Think of it less like a book you just passively read, and more like a piece of sophisticated gym equipment for your mind. Seriously. It's a tool, it's a method, a whole training program with one very specific goal, to help you develop this razor-sharp analytical clarity. Okay, so here's our game plan for unpacking this thing. First, we're going to look at the human story behind the text. Then, we'll decode its really unique logical method. After that, we'll navigate the book's internal map, and finally, we'll see what the ultimate goal of all this mental training really is. All right, first up, the journey of knowledge. Because this kind of wisdom doesn't just appear out of thin air. It was carried and protected by real, dedicated people. And its journey to Thailand is just a perfect example of this living, breathing tradition.
So check this out. Before the 1940s, this deep kind of study wasn't really a big thing in Thailand. But that all changed in 1949. Two incredibly brilliant scholar monks came over from Myanmar, where this tradition was, and still is, super strong. They started teaching, and that spark of knowledge was passed down, teacher to student, eventually reaching Pra Kandanya, the master behind the guide we're looking at. And then his students, they painstakingly compiled all his teachings, which is what led to the final publication of the whole thing. It's a direct lineage.
And this quote from the Foundation's president, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? This isn't just a formal platitude. It really captures that deep sense of respect and the massive collaborative effort it takes to keep this kind of knowledge alive and pass it on with the clarity it demands.
Okay, so how exactly does this text train the mind? This is where we get into the engine room. We have to understand its unique operating system, which is called the Yamaka method. And Yamaka literally just means pairs.
The entire book, and I mean the entire book, is built on this relentless, systematic logic of paired inquiry. So it's not a list of facts you're supposed to memorize. It's a dynamic conversation that's designed to leave absolutely no room for misunderstanding or fuzzy thinking.
So every single logical pair has these two parts. First, you've got the Sanittanabada. That's just the premise, the statement we want to look at. Then comes the Samsayabada, which is the point of doubt. It's the question that pokes and prods that premise to see if it holds up. This structure forces you to examine every single concept from every possible angle.
The process itself is actually pretty simple, but it is incredibly powerful. You pose a question, the pucha. Then you give a very precise answer, the visajana. It might be a simple yes or no, or it might be this detailed analytical breakdown. And this back and forth, this question and answer, it happens over and over and over again, thousands of times, sharpening your mind with every single exchange.
Okay, so we've got the method of pairs down. Now let's pull back and look at the blueprint of the Sankhara Yamaka itself. How is all of this organized? Because it's not random at all. It's a very deliberate, three-part map to guide you through.
The whole work is built on these three massive sections, or varas. You start with Panattivara, which is all about getting the definition straight and establishing the core concepts. Then, you move into Pavattivara, which looks at how these concepts actually arise and pass away in real processes. And finally, it all culminates in Parinyavara, the chapter on achieving a full, proficient, masterful understanding.
And this is where it gets really amazing. The structure is just so meticulous. It's almost like a fractal. You've got the main chapter, right? That breaks down into sub-chapters about specific analysis. Those break down into different methods, which then break down into specific topics, and finally, all the way down to the individual question and answer pairs we just talked about. It's precision on an absolutely massive scale. So this table really lays out the whole journey for you. It's so clear. You start with Panativara to build a solid foundation, to get that conceptual clarity. Then you use those clear concepts in Pavativara to gain real insight into the nature of reality, or Vipassana. And finally, that proficiency is guided in Padinyavara toward insight into the path of liberation itself. See? Each step just systematically builds on the one before it.
Which brings us to the final, and let's be honest, the most important question. After all this intense mental training, after navigating this incredibly intricate text, where do you actually end up? What is the whole point of it all? And look, this is not just some academic exercise. The text is totally upfront about its goals. Yeah, of course, the first step is to master the subject matter. But that mastery is only a tool. It's a tool to achieve the second goal, real penetrative wisdom. And that wisdom, it serves the ultimate purpose, the complete and total freedom from suffering.
You can just feel the heart behind this whole project and this beautiful aspiration from the author, Fra Kondanya himself. It's his personal, deeply felt desire to achieve true expertise, not just for his own sake, but to walk the same path as the great masters who came before him.
So, in the end, the Sankhara Yamaka, which can seem so complex and intimidating from the outside, it reveals itself to be one of the most structured, most purposeful guides you could ever imagine. It's a complete system designed to take the mind from a state of confusion to one of clarity, and from mere study to genuine liberation.
It's an incredibly powerful tool. It's a challenging journey, for sure, and it's a direct inheritance of wisdom that has been passed down carefully through generations. It's really not just a book to be read, it's a path to be walked. And the only question that's left, really, is, are you ready to take that first step?
พวกเราทั้งหลายเป็นผู้ถูกครอบงำแล้วโดยความเกิดโดยความแก่และความตายโดยความโศกความร่ำไรรำพันความไม่สบายกายความไม่สบายใจความคับแค้นใจทั้งหลายเป็นผู้ถูกความทุกข์ยังเอาแล้วเป็นผู้มีความทุกข์เป็นเบื้องหน้าแล้วทั้งชนะการทำที่สุดแห่งกองทุกข์ทั้งสิ้นนี้จะพึงปรากฏชัดแก่เราได้เราทั้งหลายพูดถึงแล้วซึ่งพระผู้มีพระภาคเจ้าแม้ปรินิพพานนานแล้วพระองค์นั้นเป็นสารณะถึงพระตามด้วยถึงพระสงฆ์ด้วยจักทำในใจอยู่ปฏิบัติตามอยู่ซึ่งคำสั่งสอนของพระผู้มีพระภาคเจ้านั้นตามสติกำลังขอให้การปฏิ